What is up, my friends? It is Friday night and your weekend has officially started. The Reds are in action tomorrow against Forest. We will be starting our watch along from 2 p.m. on the Anfield Agenda Twitch channel. You can, of course, find the link to that in the description of this video. Just a reminder, because it's the 3 p.m. Saturday kickoff, the game will not be shown live on TV in the UK. So if you want to watch it, you're going to have to get a little bit creative, or you can, of course, just come and join us for the watch along. Today, we're going to be concentrating on transfers, and there will be a second video coming out tonight where I guess I review the leaked Liverpool third kit for next season. It's going to be a short video, but keep an eye out for it. That should be dropping later on this evening. But let's start off our conversation today around Khephren Thuram. So the Independent's Miguel Delaney has been speaking about Liverpool's pursuit of midfielders, and in this case, the player from France. So let's hear what Miguel has had to say in it. He said the priority will be energy and running, combined with an ability to carry out the Germans' tactical demands. Assessments of Thuram are that he fits that bill, and he's had considerable development in the French league. Liverpool are looking at the likes of Mason Mount, Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister, and Conor Gallagher. He goes on to say the 22-year-old Frenchman has now been added to that list. Now, as always, we like to keep our finger on the pulse here on Anfield Agenda, and social media has reacted very well to this. You guys seem to like the idea of Kefiran Thuram being somebody that Liverpool are looking at. Now, I'm going to be really honest. I'm playing catch up on this player because I can't say with a good conscience that I have watched much of Nice this season. In fact, I've seen very little of them. So I'm going to ask you guys to let me know, should I be excited about Khephren Thuram? Is he somebody that you think Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool should be looking to add to their midfield in the summer? Now, interestingly, in this article, Miguel Delaney said that Jurgen Klopp wants to add at least 2 midfielders in the summer. I think we need to add 3 personally. And I think we're probably going to end up with a window that looks something like Mason Mount, Gravenberch, and McAllister. That is my guess at the window, and it is just that, a guess. But if there are cheaper or better alternatives elsewhere, then, we know Jurgen Klopp, FSG, love a bit of a value, love a bit of a bargain. So maybe Khephren Thuram is somebody that they feel they can get in for a more reasonable fee. Now, I haven't seen a fee mentioned in this piece from Miguel Delaney, but again, you guys can tell me what you think will be a reasonable fee. With regards to Mason Mount, we know that it looks like Chelsea are going to lower their demands of 70 million, which is quite frankly ludicrous. And for Alexis McAllister, the number that's been doing the rounds over the last week or so seems to be that Brighton are going to ask £60 million. Now, look, it's hard to know what is good value in the market these days because the likes of Chelsea's and PSG's and stuff have come in and just thrown stupid money at players. And it's very difficult to know where there is value. You always pay a premium when you're signing somebody from a rival Premier League club, and Brighton themselves will, of course, have their eyes firmly set on a European place for next season, and they won't want to lose the likes of Alexis McAllister. But I think 60 million is a little bit too rich for my blood. I think Liverpool should be trying to get that towards the 50 million mark, in my opinion. He has a lot of positive traits. He's obviously a World Cup winner with Argentina, and that still feels weird, right? Saying that Alexis McAllister and World Cup winner. But fair play to that. He was part, and a very big part, of that Argentina squad. And yes, he is Premier League tried and tested, and he's a very good age bracket. I just think 60 million just sounds a little bit too high for me, but again, maybe you disagree. Little update for you guys on Roberto Firmino. So there is a train of thought on social media at the minute, and a couple of people have mentioned it to me, and I can't, add any credence to it or tell you that it's factual or not. But there is a few people suggesting that maybe Bobby is considering staying. Maybe he's already regretting the decision to leave. Now, I don't know if that's the case or not, but what I can tell you is it has been reported that Chelsea are interested in Roberto Firmino. We told you guys yesterday about St. Louis City in the MLS. There, of course, been offers from to go to Italy, Spain, and I think over to Saudi Arabia, if I'm not mistaken. So look, it does seem like Bobby's going to have a lot of options, but one club who seem very confident in the package they're able to offer him are Galatasaray. Their director, Erdem Timur, has been speaking and is a big fan of Firmino, believes that it would be a perfect fit for the club. The report goes on to say that they feel like that they could be in the box seat ahead of the likes of Chelsea because they could offer Roberto Firmino not just a longer contract, but obviously Champions League football next season. So let's wait and see what happens with that one. Jurgen Klopp today in his press conference was also speaking about Darwin Nunez. And do you know what? This is really weird because on social media, you will see a lot of rival clubs fans saying that Darwin Nunez has been a flop and that Cody Gakpo has been a flop. But if you look down at the numbers, The numbers suggest otherwise. He is just 2 away from matching Luis Suarez's goal tally in his first season for Liverpool, and if my memory is correct, I think he's only 1 away from matching Sadio Mane's, and I think we'll both agree, or we'll all agree, that they were quite good for Liverpool, and if he can continue to progress like that, then I don't know what the problem is. I don't think he's a flop. I've never even thought about him as a flop. I understand that he's a player that maybe is taking a little bit longer. Particularly today, Klopp was speaking about the counter press and how that is something that any of our forwards have to nail down before they're going to be a regular starter. Yes, he's struggling a little bit to get to grips with English as well, but that's understandable. New country, new team, new language. These things are going to take time. So I'm glad the club are looking to the long term with Darwin. I think that it's absolutely understandable that it's taken them a bit of a while to get up to speed, particularly with the counter press. And that's why we've seen Jota, Gakpo getting nods recently, getting the start, because they're more up to speed with that type of play and what Klopp wants. Yes, we know what Darwin is. He's a bulldozer. He's as mad as a box of frogs. He will score us goals. He will pull himself about. But the manager does seem to be fairly intent on the players having to have that counter press right. He was singing Curtis Jones's praise about his counter press against Leeds, and I agree, he was absolutely fantastic. So if this is something the gaffer feels that Darwin needs to work on, at least he knows what he's doing. Well, I don't want to say what he's doing wrong, but at least he knows where he's coming up a little bit short. So let's wait and see. As Klopp said, there's 3 games over the next week, so plenty of opportunity for Darwin to get some minutes. A little bit on Mason Mount as well before we finish up today. And Charles Watt has been saying that Liverpool are believed to be pushing hard for Mason Mount, but Arsenal, Newcastle, and both Manchester clubs are also said to be interested in the player. Now, I can understand why United would be interested. I can understand why Arsenal may be interested. Newcastle, of course, as well. But where would he fit in at Manchester City? I mean, I don't get it. 2 minutes ago, Manchester City were making huge plays for Jude Bellingham because they wanted him, even though they won't get him, in my opinion. Now, Mason Mount has been mentioned, and I just don't see where he'd fit in at Manchester City. I do think that there is a good chance we see him at Liverpool, though. And for me, if you can get Mason Mount for somewhere around the 40, 45 million pound mark with 1 year left on a Chelsea contract, that makes a lot more sense to me than the crazy numbers that we'd seen mentioned. One really last thing before I let you go is on Kostas Tsimikas. So it's been reported that he doesn't want to leave Liverpool and that Jurgen Klopp is not looking to sell him, because there have been a few questions, of course, about the fullback position in recent days, particularly with Fabrizio Romano saying that Liverpool are looking to maybe bring in another fullback. That had led to questions about the possibility of one of the fullbacks leaving, and it doesn't seem like that is going to be Kostas Tsimikas, if indeed anybody is going to be leaving. So look, that is it for me on this Friday evening, my friends. Don't forget, tomorrow 2 p.m. is the watch along. We will, of course, have our player ratings, match reaction videos on here for you guys as well. And again, just a reminder that from July onwards, Anfield Agenda will be back calling YouTube its home for all of our content live and pre-recorded. So yeah, that's it from me. Don't forget to check out the third kit review video that I'll be dropping a little bit later on tonight. And again, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for giving up some of your time this evening. Don't forget to drop a like on the video, hit that subscribe button, and let me know your thoughts on everything we spoke about. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.